Hello and welcome back to another match preview. Now, I don't usually do match previews when it's not Premier League, but we are getting to the knockout stages of the Europa League and we're facing Freiburg in the first leg tomorrow. My voice is a bit gone, but make sure to like the video and subscribe if you are new. We're on the road to 500 subscribers and thank you for the support as of recently. We've gained a few subs this month already and we're only 6 days in and that's good for my channel. Excuse me. But yeah, as I said, we're facing Freiburg again. This time away fans are allowed to go. It's an interesting one. I've already done a mini preview on my TikTok. So if you didn't see that, you'll get to see this. But listen, it's not going to be easy. But it's one that you'd hope that we'd win. Because we already faced them in a group stage. And it was easier than I thought it was going to be because they're an inspiring team that I thought were going to just be harder to beat. And it's despite the scores being 2-1 and 2-0. In the end, it wasn't that bad. Now, if you go back to the away game, which was the first time we faced, we started off really well. They didn't really find their feet at all in the first half. However, in the second half, they started off really well, and we had that trend of conceding at the start of second half quite a lot. Like, with an example being Jeremy Doku when he scored against us. But after that, we seemed to be more calm in possession, like 10 minutes after that. Finding openings, Paquetá had a brilliant game, and he'll be needed tomorrow. And we hope that the workload isn't too much for a guy who's just come back from injury a couple of weeks ago. Same with Antonio coming off the bench. Same with Jared Bowen, who came back from injury like a month ago. You hope that the workload won't be too much now. And we're back to square one in terms of we have 11 players, 12, 13 max that we can really rely on when it comes to like the back end of this season. And it reminds me a bit of 2 years ago with the Europa League run-in. Unfortunately, we're at 8 o'clock this game, but we're not at 8 o'clock next week, which obviously a lot of controversy about that as well. But there's no excuses. I'm sure some people will make some if we don't win. But at the end of the day, this is two-legged football, yeah? Or two-legged, I don't know what the right term is. It's not over, like, this is, like, just the first half of, like, full game. But we're not awful at two-legged football. Like, over the time we've been in Europe, obviously we won the competition last season. And we lost to Frankfurt in the semi-final, which was disappointing. Even without the Cresswell thing, the first leg, we lost at home. That's when it was it was going to be probably too hard to overturn that, and we had chances in that game. So in general, you'd hope that we'd get the win over the line. Now, a lot of people that were happy with the draw said this is one of the easier ones. I would say Karabag, because I don't know who the fuck they are. And I didn't want the same team again. And we could have got a way worse draw. But if we can't beat Freiburg, then we don't deserve to go through, like, further than that. And also, that means we will struggle against maybe a Sporting Lisbon we might come up against, who apparently aren't that good this season, but I wouldn't know. I don't watch them. Bayer Leverkusen, who are flying, unbeaten in their league. I don't know whether they're unbeaten in their group, where they won the group. That means also, if we come up against Liverpool, we are completely fucked. I think we knew that already. Even with their injuries, they still somehow find a way. They beat Nottingham Forest with all their injuries. I know it was a controversial goal, but Nottingham Forest beat us. So you'd hope we'd give them a tough game. And I am more confident than I usually am. And that's because we're in Europe. In the league, I'm not that confident. Then again, we've got Burnley this weekend. I'm quite confident we'll beat Burnley. But against Freiburg, I'm not so confident. I can't lie. I say that I am confident because I'm not giving you the realness otherwise. But overall, we shouldn't have any more knocks and niggles and all that. We should be starting hopefully the same team, and hopefully someone like a Kurt Zuma could rise to the occasion. Usually does rise to the occasion, but he's been off form, and it should be deservedly dropped. But then again, as much as I don't want to play him, if he's not going to play with Bonner, you play in Aged this game because Zuma's again. He's someone that cannot handle the workload because Zuma cannot play Freiburg, Burnley, Freiburg, Villa. He cannot play all 4 of those games. I'll be very surprised if Zuma gets through all 4 of those games 90 minutes. If he does, yeah, I'll hold my hands up on the Aston Villa match reaction. I was actually wrong. I thought that the Villa game would get cancelled, but I realised they're not in FA Cup either, so we will continue to play them. And we've also got 3 home games in a row after this, 2 in the league, 1 in Europe. Ultimately, at worst, we should only be losing by 1-0 or like a 1 goal deficit. Anything further than that will be borderline impossible for someone like us, someone that doesn't attack, someone that doesn't play on the front foot, to, counter and capitalize on an opportunity where we could go through to the quarterfinals. We're in round of 16 we're in round of 16, so quarterfinals after. And I don't know to be honest with you, when people ask me what my expectations are this season, I don't know what to say when it comes to Europe this season, because I would like to at least get to a semi-final again. I'm not sure that's realistic, but I would like to. I'd like to be ambitious, because I've said about being ambitious in general and why we moved to the stadium and stuff like that. So I'd like to get to a semi-final at least again. Ideally, I like to fucking win the competition, because no one cares about semi-finalists. Listen, if we get to a final and lose, I'll be heartbreaking. But you got to be in the finals to win them. So I like what Areola said. I like the quotes I'm seeing from Areola about wanting to win the competition, not thinking that fans are having expectations too high, unlike Vladimir Sufal, who said expectations were too high, etc. What Areola said was proper mentality, and you can tell he's played for top clubs like, PSG top club, you know what I mean. But Real Madrid, he's played for Real Madrid. He's been in a squad of a World Cup winning team. He didn't contribute because Lloris was there, but he would carry that mentality throughout his whole career to be ambitious. And a lot of these players that won the trophy last season will surely want a taste of trophies, no matter how young and old they are. They'll want to carry on with this club to be ambitious again. And surely you want to carry on the blueprint of what is working well for you in Europe. Now, we haven't performed the greatest in Europe this season compared to we have in the previous 2 seasons in terms of group stage and knockout stages. But we can make up for that. And hopefully we do. And as I said, I think Moyes' tactics are more suited to Europe. Like, if Moyes was to leave West Ham, I think he should get a job abroad if he really wanted to at his age. He probably wants to stay in England, but I reckon he could do well abroad because of the tactics. I think his tactics are suited more to Europe, as I just said. And I think they're a bit out of fashion when it comes to the Premier League in general. We're just starting to get on form now. We've won 2 games, which fucking miracle this year. So I am confident, and I'm hoping that apart from the goalkeeper, because Fabianski will probably start. I think people forgot about Fabianski because of how well Areola is doing. But it should be the same team, but with Fabianski. Hopefully Emerson is fine from the Everton game. I heard he went down. He then got taken off by Bonner. As I said, I didn't get to watch the game. But hopefully he is fine, because he'll be needed. People like him, Paquetá, Kudus and Bowen, probably the four most important players in that team. Because of how Emerson has transformed that left-hand side, how well Paquetá, Kudus and Bowen do when they are together as well. And hopefully we don't have to be too open away from home. But hopefully we get a goal. If we get a 1-0 lead going into our ground, that would be amazing. I would be so confident, because they would need to score 2. I don't see us conceding 2 at home to Freiburg. That's why I think we need to get one goal at least. Try and shit out a 1-0 away win. If you can, score more. Ideally, score more. But this is away from home. This is knockout football. I don't expect you to play expansive and all that stuff. That's why I think Roma are going to beat Brighton. But we will see about that. But my prediction, I'm going to go with 1-1. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. And I think we'll take it back to our place and we'll beat them. But let me know what you think in the comments below, and let me know whether you're feeling positive or negative about the game in general. Because this is a tough one, because I'm not the most optimistic West Ham fan, but what I can say is that we do better in Europe than we do in the league when both of them collide together in our schedule. Make sure to like the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new. As I said, road to 500 subscribers. If you can keep that up, that would be good. We're trying to hit that before the end of the year. Social media is over in the description if you want to follow me, and an email for the inquiries. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.